YouTube, what's going on, y'all? This is Jamar here, Vegas Sense, and in this video, I'm gonna actually do my first top 5 video for this channel here. So I'm gonna be kind of going over, like a little brief breakdown of, what notes are in each fragrance or whatnot. So I'm gonna be doing that on the iPad here. So if you see me looking down, that's pretty much, what I'm looking at here. So I have enough fragrances, believe it or not, to do a top 5 and also to have 2 honorable mentions within the actual top 5. So the first, honorable mention that I'm gonna do here is it's gonna be a Banana Republic fragrance, and that fragrance is gonna be Linen Vetiver. Okay, so in this particular fragrance, I found out about this through Kubano's channel, and he was saying that it was a cheapie. It was a really nice, fresh smelling scent. And I mean, he didn't lie at all. Like this stuff smells really, really, really good. It has top notes of bergamot, cardamom, petitgrain. It has some iris in it. It has musk and amber in it. I mean, it's really, really good. And it smells kind of like a soapy, fresh out the shower type scent, but I would say not in the way of like a powdery, fresh out the shower, soapy type scent. So it's not like a Prada L'Homme or something like that, where it has like a powderiness to it. This is a lot more airy, like aromatic, I would say. And it's just, I've worn this so far just here in the cooler months, and I really enjoy it, believe it or not, on like cooler days. Especially right now. I mean, last night was New Year's Eve, and it was like 38 degrees last night. This would be like, I would say, a perfect scent to wear like if you're just like lounging around in the house, with like a hoodie and sweatpants on, like I have one right now. This is like a perfect scent for that. I'll have to see how this performs in the warmer weather. I would have to assume, it probably performs, okay, or, just as good. But for right now, like I would say really this is probably going to end up being like an all year round type scent, because that's how versatile and just clean this is. So again, this one is Banana Republic Linen Vetiver. Okay. Another honorable mention that I have here is from the House of Alexandria Fragrances, and this one is Greek Horse. Okay, so Greek Horse is Alexandria's take on Parfum de Marly's Pegasus. And although I haven't actually smelled the original, Parfum de Marly version, from everything that I've seen online, this smells exactly like it. And this, as well as like Royal Equestrian, from what I understand, they smell like pretty much identical to both Pegasus and Leighton. And this is just basically, it's just like a bitter almond vanilla, just really smooth smelling scent. I wouldn't say that it's, anything like groundbreaking or anything like that, but I mean, it's just really simple, and it smells really, really good to my, to my nose, in my opinion. I haven't worn this as much as Leighton, but I've gotten some wearings out of it. The best thing that I would say about this fragrance is, it's extremely long lasting. So you spray this on, and if you spray this on your clothes, this will stay on your clothes until you wash them. That's how strong this stuff is. It's not really strong in terms of like a beastly projecting fragrance, but it definitely lingers around all day long, and the sillage on this is really, really good. So as far as the notes go on this one, you know, it has top notes of bergamot, cumin, which you really don't smell the cumin really at all in this fragrance. You know, cumin is kind of known to be like more of I guess body kind of musk type smell, and I really don't get that at all from this fragrance. Okay, so that one, you know, it's got cumin in it, it's got the bitter almond, it's got the lavender in it, amber, vanilla. It's just an overall just a great fragrance. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into my top 5 here. And the top 5, it actually has some designer scents in it, you know, as well as you know, some scents from the Alexandria Fragrances house. Okay, so I mean, as you all can tell from this channel, Alexandria Fragrances is definitely you know, something that I've been using a lot of, and you'll see that by this top 5 for sure. So number 5 here, I have the very popular Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP. And you know, this top 5, like I said, this is gonna be like my top 5 winter cool weather, you know, type fragrances. And I feel like although this is a scent that you could absolutely wear all year round, it's really, really good for the cooler months, I would say. And I really think that this is very, very well blended when it comes to everything that's in this fragrance and just the, you know, the final product of how it really smells. This is really, really good. You know, it's basically, you know, amber, tobacco, and then, you know, you get a lot of like grapefruit, you know, on the top notes when you first spray it on. So, I mean, I do like the opening, but I actually prefer the dry down a little bit more than I do the opening on this particular fragrance. You know, it has some of my favorite notes in this fragrance, actually several of them. Some of my favorite notes in the fragrance are actually like spices. So I really love cardamom, coriander, I love ginger. You know, as far as fruits go, I really like, you know, apple and pear and plum. I really, really love those notes in the scent. And, you know, this fragrance, it has coriander in it, it has ginger in it, it has cardamom. You know, it has tobacco, amber, cedar, you know, basil, grapefruit, orange blossom. It's an amazing fragrance. But, you know, I've tested it out a few times, and even with this eau de parfum concentration, you know, I only get about maximum 5.5 to 6 hours. And I don't know, that's just not very good in my opinion. And I mean, it really becomes like a really weak skin scent, I would say probably after 2.5 to 3 hours or so. Now, I didn't really pay that much for this fragrance. I want to say I probably paid a little bit over 50 for this 100 ml bottle. So that's okay. But, you know, I really, really would like if this fragrance lasted at least 8 hours. You know, that, you know, to me, this would be probably like my number 1 scent, you know, I would definitely say. But again, this one is Dolce & Gabbana The One at number 5. Okay, so at number 4, I have here Viktor and Rolf's Spice Bomb. Okay, so Spice Bomb, you know, I've already done a video on Spice Bomb, and I pretty much mentioned that, Spice Bomb is a scent that I can put this on, and it has like a warming type quality to it. It just warms me up, especially in these colder months or whatnot. It really really warms me up, and it's extremely spicy. It's extremely spicy, but I really really love the spices in this fragrance. The main notes that you get from this are, the cinnamon and uh, the different spices like pink pepper. But then also when you first spray this on, it smells like a really fresh fragrance from the grapefruit and the bergamot that you get up top. And then once this has really been on you for a long time, I would say probably like 7, 8 hours plus, then that's when you start to get into the base notes, and those really start to shine a lot with the leather and the tobacco. And once it gets to that point in the fragrance, I mean, this still smells really, really good. It smells really, really good. But for the most part, I would say most of the fragrance, you mainly get the cinnamon. So I guess if you're not really a fan of cinnamon or pepper notes and stuff like that, then you probably won't like this fragrance. It'll probably be too spicy, too strong for you. But in my opinion, this is like a fresh, spicy type scent. So I think that this is something that you could probably even wear in the warmer months. You would just have to go a little bit lighter on the trigger, and this one would work pretty well in those months as well. So at number 4, I have Viktor and Ross Spice Bomb. Okay. All right. So what else do I have here? All right. So number 3. I have an Alexandria fragrance here, and this one was one of the fragrances that was sent to me by Hani Hafez over there at Alexandria Fragrances, and this one is Dark Night. So Dark Night, I got hip to this through Big Beard Business. He was saying that he was actually pretty upset at how close this smelled to By Killian's Black Phantom. And he pretty much said, like, at this point, he really doesn't even need to buy another bottle of that, I think he says, because this performs just as good as Black Phantom, and it smells pretty much identical to Black Phantom. And, this is pretty much, it's just like a dry kind of dark chocolate and caramel type scent. It's and as well as I believe it has coffee in it as well. Let me go ahead and actually look for sure here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the only notes that are actually like in this fragrance, I believe, I think it's rum, dark chocolate, caramel, I want to say cane sugar, patchouli, and coffee, I think it is. Let me double check here. But yeah, while this is loading up, this is something really good to wear in these cooler months as well. I've worn this a lot. To my nose, and I don't know if it's due to olfactory fatigue, to my nose, I don't really smell this projecting on me. And I mean, I've gone as heavy as like 4 sprays with this, which a lot of people say you really only need about maybe 2 sprays or so with this fragrance. I've sprayed about 4 sprays with it, and I mean, I'll maybe smell it for like the first hour or so, and then after that, I really don't smell it unless I like do like this and like actually smell it inside my shirt or whatever I have on. And yeah, the official notes here are rum. It has sugar cane, dark chocolate, coffee, caramel. It has almond in it, as well as heliotrope and sandalwood. Okay. So I mean, it really is. It's like I said, bitter. It's like a bitter chocolate, uh, coffee type fragrance. Those chocolate and coffee are really the main things that I would say that I smell in this. I don't really smell like any sort of rum or booziness from this fragrance, um, and I really don't smell any almond in this either. But I would say if you really really like to smell a chocolate or coffee, um, this one is a great fragrance to have for sure. And I mean it lasts forever as well. If you spray this on your clothes, if you go back a few days later, it'll still be on your clothes pretty much until you wash the clothes. Okay, so again, this one is Alexandria Fragrances Dark Night at number 3. Okay. So at number 2, I have another Alexandria fragrance here, and this one is Royal Equestrian. Okay, so Royal Equestrian is going to be Alexandria Fragrance's take on Parfum de Marly's Layton, and I've actually gotten some compliments with this particular fragrance. Um, I hung out with a ex-girlfriend not too long ago, and I had this on, and she like couldn't stop smelling like my hoodie that I had on, because she said this smelled, to her it smelled really really good. Um, this fragrance, I really love this fragrance. It's got notes of apple in it, vanilla. Um, it's got different citruses in it, amber. Um, what else? Violet leaf. It's an amazing fragrance. And I mean, just looking at the notes in the fragrance, I don't really think you can tell how this really smells just by looking at those notes. Because it looks simple when you look at it, on Fragrantica as far as what notes are in it. But when you smell it, it does smell like a complex type fragrance. And it's weird to kind of describe, because it's like a fresh type scent. I would say it's sort of along the lines of like a fresh, like, oh, Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, but it doesn't smell anything like those fragrances. But I feel like it kind of fits into that same vein almost. But it definitely, it has a lot of denseness to it, and it's very strong. So I would say anything over 3 to 4 sprays with this is like way too much. You'll kill yourself and probably everybody around you. But with the right amount of sprays with this fragrance, I think this is definitely very mass appealing. I don't think there'll be anybody that really won't like it. You might have some people that'll think, it's just okay, but I don't think that there will be anybody that won't like this fragrance. And I've worn this a lot. I received this fragrance, I want to say in like August. And this is a 60 milliliter bottle, and I mean, I have right now probably around 30 fragrances. And that's not even including like some samples of stuff that I have. So I mean, I put a dent in this bottle for sure. And this is one of my favorite fragrances, I would say, for sure. Okay, so at number 2, we have Alexandria Fragrances Royal Equestrian. Okay, so for my number 1, my number 1 is actually a fragrance that I just recently got. So I literally have not had this fragrance for, I don't know, more than probably a month or so, maybe. And this one, again, is going to be from the house of Alexandria Fragrances. And this one is Hafez 1984. So I've been seeing a lot of different things about, or Alexandria Fragrances Hafez 1984. The one of the reasons why I didn't pull the trigger on this one was because it was an original fragrance, and so I didn't really have anything to, I guess, reference this off of. When it comes to purchasing fragrances, especially if I'm a blind by it, I'm a little bit, I guess you could say gun shy on doing that, especially if I don't really have anything to reference the fragrance off of. So, Hani actually sent this to me as well. And this was the fragrance that really, really caught my nose like right away. As soon as I sprayed this, I was like, wow, like this is some amazing stuff. And that's all I had been seeing from other people, is they were basically saying how great this smelled. And it really does. This is pretty much, it's another really simple scent. It's tobacco, vanilla, patchouli, rum, and exotic spices. And the tobacco in this is just really, really sweet. It's not like a ashy kind of smoky tobacco. It's not like that. This is just like a really nice sweet tobacco. And I really enjoy the scent a lot. It's also it's pretty strong as well. So this is a fragrance that I would say you really don't need to go any more than like 3 to 4 sprays with again. But it lasts like forever. Like that's the thing. And what I like about this fragrance is, it's not really a linear fragrance either, I would say. Once you start getting like into like the 9 and 10 hour marks or whatever, I feel like the smell of the tobacco kind of changes a little bit. And you just start getting wafts of this stuff, and it's amazing. It really is. And this is definitely something that I do need to get like a bigger 60 milliliter bottle of, because this is definitely, I would say, signature scent worthy. I don't know how this is gonna work in the warmer months, so I'll really have to kind of test that out. But I would say for sure for the cooler months, like this is like the perfect scent to wear. And I would say in any occasion at all. So this one is going to be my number one. Again, it's Hafez 1984 from Alexandria Fragrances. That was my top 5 for the cool weather and winter. And this is Vegas Scents. I'll see you all in the next video.